everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Kirsty and this is Stuck in the Mud. So I wanted to talk a little more today about false memory OCD and how we can overcome these false memories, because they can be pretty scary and terrifying. I have dealt with false memories in the past and it really got me stuck. I was really stuck trying to remember, trying to figure out and really explore my memory to see if something actually happened, because it actually was revolving around a real event that happened. But that's where OCD can take over, and OCD is very sneaky. It will find a new outlet and a different way to get your attention. So for me, false memory OCD started around my children, and there was an event that happened where I thought that I may have actually harmed them, and this was tough for me because it was something that I really care about, something I really love, and OCD really got the hooks in. It really did. It hooked into the thought that I could have potentially harmed my child, even though it goes against everything that I am. And it really had me questioning for some time, and I had a lot of doubt about the way things played out, and I would go into my memory and to see if I could recall the actual events that happened, like play by play, everything that happened. And that's pretty hard to do. I mean, we know, and I think when I talked to my therapist about this, she said you would know if you had done something. And it was right, because I would have known if I had committed such an awful thing against my child. I would have also been it would have been against everything I was, and I would have a lot of guilt and shame. But I was feeling so much anxiety. I was feeling so much anxiety around the fact that I could have potentially done this. And the reason I felt that way was because I kept feeding into it. I kept doubting and recalling my memories. I kept trying to pull everything apart, trying to figure it out, trying to work out everything that happened. And guess what? The more we do that, and this is how we overcome false memories, because the more we can stay in the moment and continue with our day without actually getting involved with these thoughts, because this is how we have to overcome false memories. We have to treat them as any other OCD thought, or if it could be thoughts, images. You know, we can have all these visions in our head of things that didn't actually happen, and this is how we have to treat them. These are just thoughts. They are not real. But the more we get involved in them, the more they feel real, and the more they feel even scarier, because we start to believe in them, because we're just going over and over, and we're just ruminating over scenarios that didn't actually even happen. And it's easy to get hooked in with OCD because it'll find, like I say, a new way to get your attention. And it can be so scary because it can be about something, like I say, with me, it was my children, and if I actually did harm them, which didn't happen, because it's just nothing I would ever be capable of doing. And I know that. And when I really spoke about this with my therapist, she said you would know if you did something. And she's right. She really is right, because we have to accept that these are just intrusive thoughts. I have to treat this false memory like any other intrusive thought I would get. And when it's about something you care so much about, like for example with me, it's so alarming, because you just want to have that ultimate certainty that this did not happen. But the more we go back and the more we ruminate over these past scenarios, the more creative OCD will get. And I think people, as a general rule with OCD, you know, we have good imaginations and we can make up things that didn't even happen. They can maybe be around a real event that happened. So we may get lots of visions around these thoughts, and our mind will add in things that didn't happen because it just goes into overdrive. It'll add all kinds of different things just to question and make you just want that complete certainty that that didn't happen. So it'll add all these other bits in, and it becomes really confusing because you start to doubt what's real and what isn't. And when I really stood back and let these thoughts and images play out, and even the feelings that come along with it, all the sensations, all the emotions that come along with it, like the shame, the guilt, the doubt, the uncertainty, if I let all that play out, and as uncomfortable as it was, and just let it be there, let it kind of do its own thing in the background, the more clarity I had on the situation, the more, if I let that happen and didn't get involved, and this is where I use my metacognitive therapy or detached mindfulness, and just let those images and all that false memory play out and not get involved. Because the more we involve, the more creative OCD would like to get. So just treat them like we would any intrusive thought. When we're questioning a past scenario, you know, the likelihood this is just OCD finding a new way to get you hooked in and get your attention. And the more I practice this, the more I refrained from involving myself with rumination over past events, the more, like I say, the more clarity I had on the whole thing. I knew that it didn't happen. And I see that now, but at the time, this went on for a long time with me as well. This scenario played out for months, and I nearly admitted myself over this because it got me into a really dark place where I couldn't, figure out what was real anymore. And it was a really frightening place to be. And I would hate anyone to get to that place because it robs you of your life and you don't deserve that. OCD will find another way. And when we really just think about it and think, this is not me, this is so far from where I am as a person, this is not me, this wouldn't have happened this way, because that is ultimately not the kind of person I am. But OCD will try and make you believe that you are. And the more we get involved in it, the more our imagination goes wild, and it will add all different things in that didn't even occur, didn't happen. So trust me, if you can do that and just refrain from getting involved in them, you can do what they want in the background, but just try and refrain and live in the moment and just move forward with your day. Just let OCD do its thing. It will reduce in frequency, believe me, and it really does. The more we practice this, the less frequent these intrusions will be. And that's what they are. They are intrusive thoughts, but they're masking themselves as memories that didn't happen. So I really hope this video has helped you today, and just know that you're so far apart from what OCD will like to try and make you believe. False memory OCD was really scary for me, and I understand how frightening it can really be when it makes you question that you're capable of something that is just, you're completely against, something you could never actually do. And it will really try and make you and convince you that you actually did something that is just so far apart from who you are. So just know it's just another way for OCD to just give you another intrusive thought, another way to get to you and to hook you in and let it, and it even makes you want to believe some of these false narratives that are just completely untrue. And you don't deserve to be there. You deserve to be living in the moment, moving forward with your day, and letting OCD just say what it wants, just let it be there. But the more we involve ourselves with it, the more it's going to throw up these false memories, these false scenarios that didn't even happen. It's so creative. Like I say, I believe the OCD imagination is just, it just will run wild if we let it. But if we can just refrain from getting involved, just let it do what it wants to do in the background and move forward, you've got this. It's tough, but you can really achieve this doing this way, because it ultimately helped me see things from a different perspective, that it's just so untrue. It's just not who we are. So thanks for watching today. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next video.